Tequila sunset.
Things have really turned around for you, haven't they? You've got big money problems now. Don't be shy, Tequila. Of course I'll do it. I'm your man.
The lieutenant is about to say something, but gets cut off.
Listen, I'm not about to come between you two. I know my place, eh? I'll just be your personal brand strategist, man. Your high-concept idea generator. Yeah?
Great can-do attitude, a billion real mindset, clinically insane energy. Hire him on the spot.
No, Tequila, no. I'm a professional, you see? I insist that you give me a formal interview. What do you need to know?
What you truly want to know is, can you really trust your entire fortune to a drunk who lost his house keys while out for a jog?
I used to be a moderately high net worth individual myself, if I can say so. I've managed big money before, played the game, hustled the movers of the marketing world.
A subtle smile lights up his puffy face, like a ray of sun breaking through the stratosphere. He likes reminiscing.
At the Boom Boom Room, I directed a team of talent architects. People so high concept their names were nothing but a single letter. We had manic ideas, fueled by copious amounts of coffee-flavored whey powder. We did stuff no one had ever seen before, or since.
We're going to need examples here. Just going by one of your initials doesn't cut it. You're after measurable performance, not tales of happy memories. Numbers, please. How many years did he work? What profits did he earn?
Numbers? How about 15 fucking years of jamming art into people's heads? That's hundreds of high-concept ideas developed and executed for those fancy court boys in their suits. The result? Millions of real generated for clients. I've made my name in this world.
And then he lost it all by going for a jog. Not exactly inspiring.
Okay. Let me get a sip first. You see, net worth means nothing to the people of Martinez. Nada. Null. For them to see your wealth, to really respect that, you need to convert it into something real, something tangible. The bigger the better. The Horseback Monument! That's the center of the district. They'd have to pay attention to that. We could get your name up there in lights. Damn thing's due for a reconceptualization anyway.
You're aware that monument is supposed to look like it's exploding. It doesn't need renovating.
I didn't say renovating. I said reconceptualization. It's medium concept shit is what it is.
The level of conceptualization could always be higher, yes, But what would it cost?
Nothing up front. That's because I always put the client first. My cut'll come out of the back end, after we've made you a sensation.
We really haven't got time for this. In case you've forgotten, we are supposed to be investigating a murder.
And forget about contractors and the like. This job I'm handling personally. Concept and execution. Any unexpected expenses we'll take care of later. Can't let price compromise the work. Drinking is the fuel to my fire. Moistens me up to ensure the high concepts have a smooth landing. Ah, shit.
He could definitely work more on his hand-eye coordination.
Tequila. Whatever's going on in my reality situation doesn't have any bearings on yours. This is all about you and your future. Ask me about that. That's it. I'm back. Sorry about that, my friend. This isn't about me. This is about you, of course. A chance for you to give back to the community, to get your brand out there, to teach them your name. I can already see it. Tequila Sunset, spelled out in cathode rays, luminous against the evening sky. There won't be a single kid in this town who doesn't know.
This is a good moment to bring up his drinking. He'll get nothing done if he continues like that.
Whoa there! No need to worry about that. I've got it all under control. Besides, it helps with my creativity. Gets the business juices flowing. No can do. Sorry.
Some complex calculations are taking place in that intoxicated mind of his.
No, you're right. I've got to do this. I need this. All right. You know what, Tequila, you old rat? I'll consider your request. Give me half an hour, my friend. In fact, I demand you to sit down here and not move until I'm back. Open a beer. Chat with your old pals.
The lieutenant massages his temples and looks down at the ground. There is little time for this.
Relax. I see you both running around like maniacs, just back and forth, back and forth. Gotta live a little. Enjoy the sun.
He turns his swollen nose to face the sun, cheeks ruddy from the biting wind.
Exactly. Just give me a minute or two.
Before you know it, the man has put down the bottle, stood up, and left. Minutes pass. The clouds change shape up it. You chat a bit with old Rosemary. Then, try to strike up a conversation with Don't Call Abigail about something other than Abigail. To no avail. It's all about Abigail. The lieutenant sits silent the entire time, preferring to focus on his notebook. Clearly, we have better things to do than sit down and chat with a bunch of drunks. After what feels like ages, you hear the fence creaking as if under a large weight. Look at him. Just look at him. It's idiot Doomspyro. He's back, like a beast made of jaundice and fetid polypropylene. He returns locked in stiff combat with a most fearsome foe.
I know. Ran into some problems there. Material shortages and the like. But don't worry. Genius thrives under constraints. That's why you pay for the best.
He seems even more drunk than before. He can't even walk straight. How did he write your name in cathode rays?
Of course I am. When you're ready, and I don't think you ever will be, just head on over to the Horseback Monument. You'll see. World's gonna know about you, me, and
The lieutenant closes his notebook and nods at you, ready to go.
But if there's anything else your old friend can do for you, let me know.
Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In '38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning. The pearlescent paper adamantly resists being held open. It demands struggle at both ends. The print inside is just as taxing, due to its fine and curlicued font. The most attractive part is the image emblazoned across the top. Feisty little thing, but don't worry, it's under control. Inside an oval frame is a grey sketch of a curly-haired girl enthusiastically riding an industrial drill. It's churning up hard chunks of rocky ground and scattering them into the air. Each letter is shaped like a laugh line being pulled in a million different directions. They're all grinning at you, pleased with practically being indecipherable. You can do this. Maybe squinting will help. Your vision blurs into a haze of dark scribbles. It's like looking at a wrought iron fence through a greasy lens. Not a single recognizable symbol appears to you. That really didn't help, did it? The scroll across the paper opens wide, its many grins, back at you. A mess of mouths ready to swallow you up. Intertwined and interflowing. Impenetrably. Your eyes begin to water. Okay. Enough of that. It's starting to sting. Better try another approach. A bold black mesh curves around the oval image at the top of the document. It almost looks as if it were penned with intention. Perhaps it was. If it does, it remains hidden from you. All you see is a baffling enigma. There must be some form of logic hidden away in there. The certificate threatens. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. You take the legal documents out of the with a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. What do you see on the signature line? Indeed, to be honest, it does look very convincing. The calligraphy is close to superb. It might as well be her actual signature, but it's not. And the document will be nullified if she disputes it. That means Everard will have to start over. All you need to do now is mail the signatures to Everard's accountant in La Delta. You take the legal document. It's just a racist mug. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of a worn map. The face of King Freecell smiles at you. There it is again. A police badge on which you see you stare at the library card is folded into Billy is a unisex. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in Central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay, if it was the police, she starts explaining.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87. But we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or... Once... Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? 57th, over.
In the cabin, you see a set of... A weathered brown door. The number... Something smells good. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. Get yourself together. It's just police work.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice. The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio. He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
The police? A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open. It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink?
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead? She just nods. Keep it together. Your body language shouldn't give it away.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, it's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie. They came home later. They're good girls. The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is out.
She swallows visibly.
He has a problem with drinking, and so he disappears every now and then. He's probably in the box drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came up. His old leather jacket. It's just your average brown leather jacket, but yes. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter. Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayro Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayro.
It is.
Just to return a book of mine. Why? Why all those questions, Detective? Did he...
Do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope.
Yes. No, I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home. It shouldn't be long from now.
She folds her hands. Here it comes. You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Oh. Oh. But... he was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him? Was he drunk? I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets.
Here.
No. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
We should step outside and talk.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope with a confidence. Indeed, but it's all you need to do now. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may...
Yes, this
He sounds
Billy.
on Moreau Drive.
Yes, hello.
They're too poor to have
Here we go.
That's where the smoker on
It says here, Marie.
Maurice.
Yes, it was
Good. You have a name now.
Marie.
And then goes for,
Sorry, Marie.
and then goes for a little.
Marie. She said, sorry, Marie wasn't happy with...
Anything else you need from me? 50...
In the cabin, you see a set. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. A matrix of metal tubes and wooden planks jut out at... There are no lights that spell out your name. No workers with calloused hands leering from above. There's not an ounce of artistry here. It's even worse than expected. That son of a bitch scammed you, probably to make fun of you. This is not what that personal brand strategist of yours promised. No one even knows that you're paying for this reconceptualization. Go and have a word with him. Find out what's going on. The old king looks defiantly to the west. Just an ordinary war. Nothing. A weathered brain. The lieutenant. This is... Get yourself.
You're right.
You hear?
We have our... Now, delivering a death notification. Dead?
Good advice. The lieutenant motions.
Hello,
And he gives you a
the police.
tidy. There's fear.
Come in. It's you. I don't think...
The lieutenant, he must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead? Keep it together.
Sorry, I'm rambling. How have I been? You're not here to discuss me.
Can't write a scene without knowing the actors. Ask more. Get comfortable around her.
People got to eat. What is this about? Why are you suddenly asking me about... It's me, Victor, and the girls...
She swallowed.
He has a problem with... He's probably in the parks drinking with... No, it shouldn't be long. Oh.
Central Gem.
I think... Yeah, just...
Do something?
Yes. His old
It reminded him of his teenage...
Yes. The lining is hand-sewn, it's...
She folds. Here it comes. You've done this before. Just keep your focus. Yes, that's the most important thing. Use that word.
What did you say?
A great and terrible...
Oh.
But he was just...
We understand.
What happened to him? Was he drunk? I see. And how long had...
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in. She blinks.
Here.
No.
It burns like acid.
God. Should...
No. A day.
Good. Just tell me, what do I...
We've taken him.
A very good...
Is there anything...
No, thank you.
We should step outside. You did well. I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased. They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. Let's go.
This door is made of metal. A plaster cast bust depicts you hear someone walk a poor community.
Tequila Sunset.
No one does it better than me, eh? I was able to get it all together. Listen, I can feel it in my guts. A bright future awaits you. The one and only Tequila Sunset. Of course not. Your trademark will be all over it as soon as the workers can get to it. The strike's holding them. I guarantee the papers will pick it up once it's all finished. With photos and everything.
Papers? Maybe she'll read the papers and see your name. Maybe it will bring her back. Hey, your new personal brand strategist still hasn't laid off the drink, even though he promised.
Tequila, you know it isn't that easy yourself. I promise you, I'm working on it. What would you like them to say? Very nice. You could be your own PR agent, Tequila. Don't spend a single brain cell worrying about it. Just leave it all to me. Anything else?
An old monument stands in the middle of a matrix. The old king looks defiant.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Looking for something? Mr. Dubois, every worker... To hell with it. Every worker is white. Now, what can I do for you today? No, you didn't. I know the mailman, Harry. I know everyone and everything that just like I know you'll get it done. Once you stop horsing around, let me know when it's done. Yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned, in either the sea or the bottle.
You're already pretty deep into this. What's a little more? No one can see you here in Martinez.
By all means, Harry. Ah, yes, I was informed. It seems to be a big undertaking. What are you hoping to achieve with it exactly? Interesting. This is a small fortune waiting to be claimed. Always exciting to see promising businessmen rise up through the chaff. I'm glad to see you making headway with your endeavors, Mr. Dubois. I look forward to seeing the end result. Is there anything else on your mind? Mega-rich light-bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega-rich light-bending guys.
There was a guy in the container, but he didn't bend any light. That was in the detective's head.
Honestly, guys, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbor, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the mega-rich guy inside the container and harvest his energy to power the harbor's fog lights. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
Yes, for sending mail.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Mr. Dubois, every worker... yes, I was informed. It seems to be a big undertaking. What are you hoping to achieve with it exactly? Interesting. I'm glad to see you making head... Mega-rich light-bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega-rich light-bending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. You're right, Harry. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry. The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strong...
See? Forging that signature really paid off. Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry...
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your...
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her...
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The Pigs. Like Roy said, not good at...
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details.
It sounds like a very disturbed and...
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never sit...
She will be there from 2200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that. Glad you asked. I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat was all my mother had to give me and my brother Edgar when we were kids. Good job too, as it made me ugly. And ugly people, Harry, are much better at politics.
That is true. People don't trust pretty people.
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men. Or 15 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. You're not an ultra-liberal, Harry. Get the fuck out of here. Don't be a retard. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from...
The guy, huh?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. 2,372. Plus yours truly, of course. Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything. We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies. It's also far removed from my men and the people of Martinez who've put their trust in me. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
Yes, if you start thinking about it like that, the socialist municipal body sort of is like a corporation, isn't it? It uses corporate law. We're incorporated. I like to think we're using the best parts of all the ideologies here, Harry. We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Oh, we've been running back with renewed...
That's drug
traffic.
Drug trap. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical... The company... We're gonna
benefit.
And the kids on the...
I'm an old... But if I...
He's basically admitting to it.
It's also... Anyway, let's not focus on the sensation. Let's look at the... I'm gonna...
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials... Boys. Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering? Thank you, Harry. Thank you. You have no idea... Harry! By now, you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces.
So the village is doomed.
You were there. You saw the place. A wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, officers. We are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce. Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex. Employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. I accept your salute, Harry. All of it is true. I've got the centre, I've got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain. The pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that. But will there be giant statues of the Clear brothers towering above it all? Joyce knew he was up to something.
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, workers on welfare, and landowners in Azon hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together. Oh, I do, Harry. I really do. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier with that boat of yours. That's my job. Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting, just like we... Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about? He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Evrat sometimes. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little better.
Oil for the wheels. Much needed in stressful times like these.
Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy. But who do you mean, mister?
You do realize he might just be a figment of your imagination, right?
I don't know anyone like this, mister. Maybe he's one of Mr. Everett's fancy friends. He knows all kinds of fancy people with suits and purdy carriages.
He really feels very uncomfortable discussing matters related to Everett with you.
Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice, friendly sort, old Titus is. The night guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who... They lived on the same street their entire lives. Even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember. Strange fellows. Mr. Martin was always real nice to me in school. Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then.
Mr. Martin, Gaston also taught history and human studies to the Clear brothers.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everett would like it very much. You bet. Mr. Edgar is Mr. Everett's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revershaw, they say. All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Everett's turn to look after the union. But last year he spent a whole winter left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again.
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. The trade must have been lucrative for the trip to be so long.
Sure, mister.
descent has temporarily halted, but you will fall again. Descent has temporarily... Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you? What thing? We already got in the harbor. You just want to hear about races, don't you?
You are obviously a liberal, Sailite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. There are 3 categories of race. Those are... A receding genetic pool has led the Mound on reprehensible street parades. You know them by the names of their nation-states.
Mahoon is a derogative term for First World people of Godvoldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Huhu, are much more lactose. In some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green.
The Mound are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expand overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based as proven by the Mound and the Mesk. Occidental type A is in retrograde. The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Simonese inhabit. The Areopagites are the master race of the Ilmaran deserts. The Simonese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B are the unheroic races. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of a pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking alcohol and smoking the degenerate tobacco and for eating potato. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates. The Vacholians, halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Too mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little...
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening. But that seems a little off.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Gra. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary condition passed from the Koiko to the Occidentals. But enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric lesser races like the mosquito. The mosquito is born. Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know? The Koiko, as you know, are very... This will never happen.
There is a strange sadness in his tone, a less than heroic melody.
The heart that pumps the hemoglobin.
He does not seem angry, nor does the woman look affected. She just twirls her hair. Perhaps they've been through this and established an accord.
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly. I cannot possibly imagine what else.
Yes? What about me? No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you. It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hand. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Los Ardi? They're sort of like you.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his ring.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it. No, René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing your high could say would ever push him to do anything.
He has doubts, but right now, he just wants to move on.
I repeat, an absolute can't. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, we've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that. I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old cunt. Nobody knew him better than I did. And I want to remember that old cunt by something. Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo. Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something. René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests. And there were many reasons, but mostly it was the communals. They called them the Bells of Revolution. I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The Royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It does... Yes? What about René?
Yes.
It is what... I just don't know anymore.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
We're closed. True, hard, full, car. It's hardcore. Skibbity, skibbity. Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you. Goodbye. Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
You close your eyes and dream of the
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
You close your eyes.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's without resistance or sound. It's slightly, ever so.
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel. Hi, ma'am. And of course. Hello, It's good to see you here.
What brings you here?
Nothing, really.
Water drips down eaves. The smell of salt.
It's pornographic.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer.
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of...
Have I told you how they discovered this place? Yes. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 40. I knew you would sympathize. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit.
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in... Oh? Oh. That's so...
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear he's able to contain the anger and surprise. When I said be wacky, I didn't mean wildly gross.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. A takeover. Taking it.
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot. Like a cancer of the blood, metastasizing.
Then we're talking about a war. Everett needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this. They most certainly are not. Crenell has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol West. It will take more than Crenell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
What do you suggest I do? Everything affects the decision-making process, Detective.
Officer?
For once, I don't seem to know what the right thing to do is.
I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one. Do you think it's within my authority to give it to them? Do you think I can control the board and the shell-shocked mercenaries they've sent? What will I do?
Her arms fall to her sides. Her spine relaxes.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? during our reality lowdown. It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years. The nations who colonized this isla called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world, or life after death. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but had lost their minds. It was anything but normal. There was no precedent. People thought she was punishing the... Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime
called Volta Doma.
The 8th expedition returned, sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
The air is cold and scented with petrichor. There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up. So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open. The droplets feel warm, like...
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancialinde, Lancialinde," the signal to wake up. But they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God.
You've thought it 1,000,000 times.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the 2nd day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Elysium. 4 years later, the Queen's counselor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high. The first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the commune. In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, it is also magnificent.
There was a sting in your heart at the mention before, when she said its name.
On Caillou, the Pebble, the largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later. The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more isolae, but these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there. Wipe out indigenous populations, gunboat economies, or they came to do the same. There was no one but the skua, the Liliat Sea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever... Revolution, poverty, and the mercurial rise of capitalism. It is. Soon it will be spring and everything will blossom.
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Revachol.
I will take your advice, Lieutenant Chiefrater. I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
She puts her hand in the rain.
We will see.
Ma'am, This may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then a...
What happens will happen. The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez. If you handle the situation on the ground. Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
Forget about that. What was that about the age of capital only beginning? You need to talk politics with this lady.
I'll just... Of course. Hello. It's good.
What?
Nothing, really.
Water?
It's...
Fortunate.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
Perhaps...
Above you, they're...
Have I told you how they discovered this? Yes. Well, your condition has left you no worse off. I knew you. Remind me to tell you one day. Of course. I hear you have singled out a suspect. Oh? A takeover? Take...
Green, like a cancer.
Then we're talking about a war. Everett needs to let me into the harbor at they most...
I've seen the... It will take... I am sure you have the...
What do you suggest I do?
Officer?
For once, I don't seem to know what the right...
I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one. Do you... What will...
Her arms...
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? It may be... The nations who colonize... The Pale, it was until the 8th, slowly.
There are so the droplet.
The phenomenon, but they could.
You've thought it a million.
A total. 4 years later, the Queen's Counselor, on Caillou, the first. In your defense, it is a nasty creature who. The nation. But these other. There was no one but the Skewer. Revolution. It is.
The gangs will run wild, taking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City.
I will take.
She puts her.
We will see.
Ma'am.
What happens will happen. The age of capital. Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board. Probably a part.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
That's right, Detective. And next time, you should confer with them before you go setting events in motion.
Despite his words, he's not really sure whether to be annoyed with you or not.
Here I am. I am the face, and I'm here to answer. Rejoice Layton. Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Crenell's investigation?
A confrontation is imminent. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties. Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. They know I've been feeding you. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know, because I, too, am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich. I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing.
She would die to return to it. The Pale. The past.
No, Detective.
Don't worry, Madame. I am very sane.
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola. The Volta do Mar. It's used by inter-Islary travelers and other troubled souls, even to this day.
You could use a little of it yourself.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
The lieutenant watches her boat with worry in his eyes. He does not know if it was the wrong. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more
The sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be... But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can.
Our tenant, the policeman. What more do you want to know about that poor girl? Yes, let's hear her.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph. The speakers below are banged up and worthless.
Super cool! Now...
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy.
The junk is yours, officer. Happy listening! Try not to hurt your ears with that Samaran garbage.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want? Yeah? What?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. He looks up at you. Shrugging is an international sign for...
Hello, dear. Thank you for doing that, dear.
Her smile is wary. Earlier, the bullions.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such as Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into...
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different? How? I'm not. It's not that. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood...
Hunching her shoulders now.
Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. Morel's so proud of it.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evident that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists.
That I am a queen? An extra...
But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it.
The lieutenant opens his notebook. He's hiding. These things are tough on him. Matters of love, not violence or deceit. An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care. All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid hunt. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university. But if the dream comes to naught, what good is it? I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived, on our first date. If I weren't...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it. How it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Rising. Unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our well. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream.
No one can stop you from finding the phasmid.
Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a
dream. Hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine sputters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's raining.
We should go to...
Somewhere out there, a kilometer to the southeast, a gust of wind shakes the felled building, rattling dusty wind.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. I get it, okay. But what is the motive? That would be my first guess, yes. I don't know. Why are you?
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere. A custom even? Strange.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. You think he was hanged as a cover-up? To hide the shooting? Okay, well... I don't know. Oh my god, there's more. Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. Well, where have you looked for her? West of here? Tough luck. The place is ruined from the bombardment. I don't know. Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? Okay.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness.
I'm going to say no. Okay.
Jean.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of...
shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed. A good start.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Right to work!
Hell no. Fucking wow. You hear a tiny rattle. How about you fuck?
Okay.
There could be weapons aiming at us. The man's breathing steady.
So, the ship has sailed. Did you see it? I know you did. Tell me,
There's a mean little light in his eyes.
did it look like a germ?
His tone is totally different now. The jolly man of the people is gone, and so is the smile. You get a sinking feeling.
You wanted us to relay all this information to her.
That this is a takeover? That I want a war? God, I hope you also told her about the drug trade. They absolutely hate getting... You can kill 1 million people, but if you do something the police doesn't like, well, then you're out of the yacht club. Goodbye, you inhuman fuck. Harry, I bugged her cabin. I bugged her whole boat. I had cameras surveying her boat. Hell, I even wanted to bug that thermal cap, but my boys advised against it.
They must have done it while Joyce was busy questioning the locals.
Not me personally. I had guys recording and... Hell no! They'd fuck it up. They can't do anything right. I mean my real boys.
Where are these boys?
They sure as hell aren't hanging out in the open with beers in their hands for the cops to question. They're pros, Mr. Kitsura. Harry. I can't see into the future. We are all playing by ear on this planet. I did. I knew the negotiations would go better with police officers telling her horror stories from inside the harbor. It's scarier this way. Turns out it was a magnificent strategy. No, Harry. What we have is real. We're working men. This here is real. Harry, you made a conscious decision to relay that information to her. You could have kept it for yourself. She's not insane. What did she tell you? No, she's not. She's a sentimental alcoholic. They all are. Never take a drop and you'll be 8 laps ahead of those upper-class winos. Just like old Mr. Clare here. Try it. You'll be a real super detective. I can see that, Harry. Alcohol has left its marks, but you're doing better than when I first saw you. Rich man is shitting himself. The working class sober. Against you? Oh, Harry, I'd like to think I used it for you. Of course she did. Rich people have the best stories about all the interesting things they've done and seen, all the beautiful places they've been to. It's just sentiment. What was always going to happen? We take the harbour and she fucks off to Ozon, uncorks a bottle of wine, calls her partners, and says they need to distance themselves from... Only difference is the Union doesn't have to lose 2,000 men to machine gun fire. Harry, when I need to tell people, I might as well do it myself. That's why I like initiative.
And safer too. You never know who you can trust.
You knew something. Something big. And you wanted to see what happens when you tell someone. So you told her. Anyone who's ever been... It's better than money. It's better than pussy. Money only makes you special for some salesman. Pussy only makes you special for yourself. Information makes you special for all mankind. It's the ticket to history. Right on, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do. A hard disco cop like you, I knew you weren't one to resist temptation.
You know what, Detective? I am going to leave this out of my report, and I suggest you leave it out of yours, too.
Just look at the three of us. The three careless boyaderos. Good times, good times. Now, there's a whole lot of work to do. For me and for you. I suppose there was a reason you came here, so let's get to it. What can I help my best friend? I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. Very nice, Harry.
Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. They, classier as we've come to suspect, didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police in Martinez. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover... No, it's not...
The lieutenant adjusts.
Good.
The payphone hangs. The file cabinet stands steady. Hundreds, and the same you already went through. Remember, Leo, all items on the drawer.
Hi, Ace Detective.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposed...
Of course.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are...
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
The maps look old and faded. This bookstore is not... In your hand, you hold Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in a dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. Rising up behind him are two silhouettes wrapped in a passionate embrace. The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered. Needless to say, it violates nearly every RCM regulation for a detective.
Are you really reading that, detective? Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll find. Just...
The point is for the reader to feel like they're solving the crime, along with Dick. The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vesper to a small town along the Elysium coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home where he passes out drunk. An extremely unprofessional and hurtful stereotype that's offensive to all upstanding officers of the law. 2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vesper police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vesper police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove his innocence. Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman. And not just any dame. She's truly one in a million, a knockout whose mind is as dangerous as her curves. She's any man's kind of woman. Are you sure about that? Something about her gives you... You couldn't handle a woman like that. Look at yourself. Stop. Don't say it. Nothing. Forget it. Go back to your story. Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover, and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggling operation. As soon as Mullen, not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torv. Outwardly, The old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to pulp. But he's also dirty and increasingly paranoid that someone's going to expose his role in the drug ring. He would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible that he was able to conceal it long enough to commit the murder? A typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does bear a personal grudge against Spillane, though. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is the correct height. And while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did note Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. Frankly, it's hard to imagine him holding a pistol steady enough. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him, one evening, Deanna Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka. Well, that testimony won't be admissible any longer. As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Deanna Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, "By the way, Dick, there was something else I meant to tell you. I love you." Always aim for the center of mass. Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly. When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the cops discover fleeing a crime scene, destroying evidence, even if Detective Mullen didn't commit the murder. Dick Mullen won't be sent to the clink for the sake of some legal niceties. The heat is on. If Dick Mullen can't solve both murders before the cops catch up, can you solve the case before the cops close in? What is it, Detective? It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why there was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective. Dick Mullen was made to crack skulls and solve cases. It's who he is. He could no more You're no tiger though, Harry. You're a man. For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. A collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held. You won't find the answers you're looking for here, in other words. So, who did it, Detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve? Could be. Who knows? Only one way to find out. You begin furiously flipping through pages, even as you know these books follow a series of well-worn tropes. You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough. They're gone. Dozens of pages scatter across the ground. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather and reassemble the pages.
Ah, yes. The problem with mass-market paperbacks. They are not made to last. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your...
In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick... Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels.
Of course. Such
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for...
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
In your hand, the cover, the tagline, needless to say.
Are you really reading that, detective? Good luck,
The point is, the story of Spillane, an extremely unprofessional. 2 days late, desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vesper police to release him for...
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that they're not shitting you, detective. This is what the writers think passes for police proceed. Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. And not just any dame. She's any... Are you... You couldn't handle a woman like that. Look at yourself. You couldn't even handle your... Stop. Nothing. Forget it. Go back to... Deneuve. Not only is the local police captain in on the outwardly, he would certainly have a typical... The kid doesn't exactly... Torvald. That said, one evening... Well, that testimony won't be admissible any... As the two... I love you. Always. Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. When Mullen fleeing a... Dick Mullen. The heat. Can you solve the case before the... What is it, detective? It's a dangerous... There was never a time when he... Dick Mullen, you're no target. For a moment, you won't find the answers you're looking for here. So, who did it, detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane? Could be. Who... You begin furiously. You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough. Dozens of pages scatter across the floor. The lot...
Too bad. And on...
In your hand, you hold 4/5. Why? There's truly no point. You'll... If you insist, the story of Spillane, an extremely unprofessional and 2 days desperate to clear his name. Mullen, of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the Deneuve. Not only is the local police Torvald. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long... One evening, Deanna did... Well, that testimony won't be admissible. The man... That's just Dick Mullen's modus operandi. As the two... I love you. Always and... Whatever it is, Mullen never... Who can you trust in this wicked, messed up world? The lieutenant gives you a quizzical... When Mullen comes to... Mullen fleeing across... Dick Mullen, the heat... And you'll never know what happens, because the rest of the book is gone. What makes you think this isn't the final Dick Mullen case? How do you know this isn't the... This could go on forever. End it now. In your hand, you hold...